Morning, boys and girls. Time for another one of old Uncle Mike's Bigfoot Bedtime stories. Coming to y'all this morning from the beautiful Ouachita River here in South Arkansas at Callion. This place is one of my favorite places in the world. It's just absolutely beautiful. Anyhow, this story I'm telling y'all today happened back in 1986. And the story about what happened with me and my cousin Robbie Dale and my older cousin Arlen. Anyway, this morning I want to give a big shout out to my brother, one of my good friends, John Rayleigh, Johnny Reb. I want to thank him for giving me this book here, the Sasquatch Seeker's Manual, the Sasquatch Seeker's Field Manual by David George Gordon. He even signed it for me. From the Sasquatch Seeker's Field Manual from Johnny Reb, the original Bigfoot hunter, Mike John. Thanks, John. I appreciate this book. It's been a lot of help. And thank you for that. I'll set it down right over here. Anyhow, back in 1986, me and my cousin Robbie Dale decided we were going to go down to the cabin, the same cabin that we're talking about in a lot of our stories that my cousin Arlen had. Anyway, went down there to do some squirrel hunting and traffic. So we went down to the cabin, and we went down there that afternoon and set our traps out. Done some squirrel hunting on the way back. Robbie had him old Remington 1100 20 gauge, and man, that thing was perfect for squirrel hunting. Anyway, we about bagged our limit, got back to the cabin, and Robbie Dale cooking us a squirrel mulligan in the crock pot. And we waited on that to get done. It was in the evening time. It was probably about 10 o'clock at night, 10, 11. We was sitting out on the front porch, BSing around and talking, telling stories. And Arlen was playing guitar, and he played a mean guitar. He played good. Sang like a bird. I sure do miss him. They're both gone on their reward. Arlen and Robbie Dale both now gone. Arlen was a heck of a musician. My whole family's been in the music business. Of course, he wasn't in the music business, but a lot of my family is. Anyhow, we waited on the mulligan to get ready and sitting out there and having us a couple of brewskis. And I went inside to get me something, get me a cold one or whatever. And I was inside and I heard Robbie Dale holler, "Mike, get out here." So I started out the door and I thought, well, being where we was at that cabin where we had all them Bigfoot sightings and things, so I better get something. So I reached over to the rifle rack and got me a high-powered rifle and come out on the porch. And I said, "Robbie Dale, what's going on?" And he pointed to the sky. And I looked out up in the sky, and there's this enormous, and by enormous, I mean aircraft carrier size enormous. This thing had to be at least 1,000 feet in circumference. It was a UFO. It was a sphere, a perfect shaped sphere, a sphere, I should say. It was round. It was hard to tell the size of it, but I could tell that it was enormous, gargantuan enormous. And it was moving from east to west, slowly across the sky. Beautiful, one of the most beautiful, most profound things I've ever seen before in my life. It was shimmering gold and violet light on this thing, but it wasn't putting out light around it. But it was shimmering, it looked like a moon or a sun or something. It was just, all this light was just moving all around it, this beautiful gold and violet colors. And it moved across the sky from east to west, and it got over about as far as we could see it over the trees. And all of a sudden, it just shot up into space. And it was a clear night, beautiful night. You could see all the stars, and the moon was out and everything. And you could see this thing just go straight up into outer space. And it was moving on. I mean, it was fast. I said that thing had to be moving at least 25,000 miles an hour. And my cousin Arlen said he thought it was moving a lot faster than that. And I believed him because my cousin Arlen had just not too many years before retired from McDonnell Douglas as chief flight line mechanic. So, and he had also worked with the Skunk Works and all. He started his career in the late 40s working with reciprocator prop aircraft all the way up into the jet age and worked on NASA rockets, all kinds of stuff. He had a long career as an aircraft mechanic. Even one of the people that helped come up with the ejection seats for aircraft back in the day. So I believe what Arlen was saying. He said it was moving faster than 25,000 miles an hour. It never made a sonic boom. It never made a sound. That was the dadgumdest thing I ever seen before in my life. I didn't even believe in UFOs. I'm a Christian. I didn't think that stuff was even real. I thought people was exaggerating about that. Of course, after seeing Sasquatches and things in my time, nothing surprises me anymore. So this thing come across from east to west, and like I said, it was big. I mean, big, big. Like I said, it was probably 1,000 feet in circumference around. Come across, shot up into space, and we're sitting there wondering what the hell we had just seen. And about that time, two F-4 Phantoms come across the top of the trees with their afterburners on and took off and headed straight up where that thing had just went. And then they just turned off because it was already gone. You could see it literally going out into outer space. So that's one of the damnedest things I've ever seen before in my life. I mean, like they say, the truth is stranger than fiction. I don't expect anybody to believe this story, but I'm telling you now, that's what I saw. And I appreciate that. So that'll be story number 7. And I appreciate everybody for joining in this morning. I hope y'all enjoy the scenery as much as we do. And I just want to ask everybody to like and subscribe to my channel. Anyway, thank y'all for joining in this morning. And I just figured I'd add that in. I'd heard stories all the time, a few times I should say, before that, about UFOs being associated with Bigfoot sightings. And we had been having sightings around that area for years, and now here's a UFO involved in everything. And my cousin Arlen told us that he had seen those things before, not as big. He saw something when they were coming back from the store one night to the country down there. By the way, the cabin is down. It was a mile from the nearest house back in those days, and they lived down in the road. And they said one of them things. He had the kids with him. He said one of them followed them up the road to the house, hovering over the top of the dadgum car, and they got out. And he ran in the house and got his shotgun, and he said the thing was hovering out in the front of the yard, out over the garden area. And he said the kids were screaming and hollering and throwing a fit. They didn't know what it was. His wife was screaming. They didn't know what to do. And so that wasn't the first time that they'd had UFO activity down there. Anyway, there's some strange things going on in this world. So I recommend that everybody tune in to a show that's on YouTube now called How to Hunt. And also watch the YouTube, or the documentary, not YouTube documentary, but the documentary of 411, The Hunted, and other 411 shows with David Paulides. And look into this stuff. And y'all gonna go your ass out in the woods like this in the middle of nowhere. Better be damn careful, because there's some strange happenings going on these days. So y'all just be careful out there. And thank y'all for joining in this morning. I guess that's all I'm going to say this morning. But y'all have a blessed day, and just watch your ass when you're out in the woods. That's all. Thank y'all.